Hi, I'd like to talk to you today about some acronyms that we've all heard before, but maybe one that we haven't. Let's start off with ROI. I think we all know that that means return on investment. And specifically, we tend to use that in terms of buying a piece of equipment and wondering if we make that investment, what kind of productivity or quality increases are we going to see out of that piece of equipment. Sometimes we use it in terms of hiring a new person or expanding a department, and we say, well, gee, if we make that investment in adding a position, what kind of return on our investment is that going to give us? And those are all good studies to do. They're good discussions to have, and our friends in the finance function can certainly help us to crunch those numbers. But I want to talk about an acronym that we don't hear a lot of, and that it's one that I think we really need to consider, and that is COI. That I like to call the cost of inaction. In other words, what if we don't do something? Are we willing to continue to incur the costs of not doing that thing? In a previous video post that I called Things in HR That Make You Go, we talked about an opportunity that a client had to improve one of his plants. And he chose not to do it because the cost was out of his budget. I have a similar situation. An organization brought me in. This is a private services firm, over $50 million in revenue, and yet they're not functioning at capacity. And so they had me do a study on what was going on there, specifically with the HR function. And I came back with no less than 15 strategic things that need to be fixed in order for not only HR to be effective, but for this organization to move forward. Because in addition to struggling currently, they've got about 40 positions open out of a staff of just shy of 800. So they've got about a 5% vacancy rate in some very outwardly customer-facing positions. But they're looking at expanding, they're looking at opening up another facility. It's going to create 70 more jobs. So they're already behind, and they're looking at having to recruit almost just twice as many jobs as they currently have open. And as we're going through things, one of the things they kept saying was, well, Ed, this is a big bite to chew, and we don't know if we can take all of this on. And my response was, what is it costing you to live the way you're currently living? What are the challenges that you're facing? The ownership group has a sense that things are broken, that they're not getting the return on the investment that they want in their dollars. And many of these owners are working actively in this organization. And so my question for the executive team is, what's it going to cost you if you don't take action? Maybe this is one of the scenarios where trying to determine a return on the investment is a bit premature. After all, we're looking at probably a 12 to 18, maybe even a 24-month time frame to turn around all the things that are going on in this organization. And so perhaps it's a little bit early to start judging return on investment, but it's not too early to look at the cost of inaction. My estimates in this particular case are about $1.25 million. That's based on the revenues that they know they can derive out of this new facility. It's based on the amount of positions that they have open, the overtime that they're paying because of that, the delays in opening this new facility if they can't effectively recruit and staff it, and many, many other things. So I'd ask you, as you're looking at initiatives, sure, think about return on investment. Absolutely. It's a key metric. It's been around forever. But I want you to really think about and calculate out the cost of inaction. What happens if I continue to spend my money the way I'm spending it? I continue to do things the way I've always done them. After all, Einstein's famous quote is, if you keep doing the same things over and over again and expecting different results, that's the definition of insanity. So I'll leave you with that. Don't be insane. Calculate the cost of inactivity and then take a look and decide if it's smart to spend your budget dollars on this particular project that you're looking to help improve the workplace. Thanks.